Okay, let's do the prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to gather again, healthy. Another beautiful day. Looks like a beautiful weekend. Help us continue to have good health and good fortune. Amen.
Amen. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation, liberty and justice for all. And the four-way test, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And Ruth, you have a song.
Everyone join in. I've been working on the railroad.
All the live long day. I'm working on the railroad. This time I'll play. Oh, so early in the morning.
Now blow your horn.
Blow, Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah, strumming on the old banjo. Strumming on the old banjo. Very good, Ruth. Thanks. Do we have any visiting Rotarians today? We do. Daryl?
Sam Lowe here from the Lake Stevens Club. Welcome, Sam.
Okay, and you're a Rotarian. Very good. Thank you, Sam. Any other visiting Rotarians today? And guests? Any guests today? We do have a guest, Joellen.
Today I brought my son Landon. Say hi, Landon. Hi.
Hi, Landon. Welcome. And we do have some club business today. The district governor and leadership team installation is coming up next July 17th. It's Sunday. It's going to be at White Rock Community Center. If anybody's interested, I have the information for you to go. So that's all I have. Any else have any club business? No. We did have a board meeting. I sent out a little email last night. Our budget, thanks to Steve and all of you, auctions. We're going to have a pretty healthy budget this year, well over $200,000. Steve's still working on the particulars. We talked a little bit about expanding our conversation about the pickleball court. Past President Rich is going to follow up on that a little bit. We talked a little more about the restroom at Janaki Field next to and adjacent to Patrick's Playground. And we had a great work party down at Patrick's Playground a couple of days ago, Tuesday. And I want to thank the club, the Breakfast Club. I'm going to call them the Breakfast Club. So they're over on Tuesday mornings. We had about 15 people over there helping, and they tightened up bolts, and we spread a bunch of bark and soft bark around, and had a good time. With that, Paul, do we have a raffle? We are running short on items on the wheel, so there are some on there, but we have cash and beer and wine and some things. Farmers. Yeah, we get the beer. Okay. Thanks, Joellen. Magnolia Grill. Curtis. What'd you get? Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Curtis, you know yeah, you made it, right? Yeah, you know the little extra twist on spin. Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything else? Is that it, Paul? Okay. Joellen, Sergeant of Arms.
Okay, so since last week we got to learn about Phil, I thought we'd go around and learn a little bit about each other. So I'll start here. It's basically, which team are you? So, pineapple on a pizza, yes or no? If you're yes, raise your hand. That'll be $2 each.
I like that.
But it said no. Okay. When do you pour your milk? Before cereal or after cereal? Okay, you all are after? That'll be $1. Okay, let's see. Which way should the toilet paper be on the roll? Over or under? If you said under, it's $2. Okay. Do you call it soda or pop? If you said soda, you owe $1. Okay. Then let's see, just for fun, how many holes does a straw have? 1 or 2? If you said 2, it's $1. All right.
Happy bucks.
Happy bucks. Who's happy? Oh, yay. Right here. Big happy.
Okay, so I am an aunt for the first time. My brother and sister-in-law had a little baby boy this morning, and our family is extremely happy. And it also happens to be my mother's birthday today, so she got to be a grandma on her birthday.
Nice.
I'm happy because one, summer camp is going successfully at the club and we have tons of kids running around. But also I'm getting to plan my very first fundraiser for Sedro Woolley Club in partnership with the winery. So I'm really excited and a little stressed, but it's good.
Nice.
There's 3 happy bucks that Phil's up there and I'm not.
All right, I'm pretty happy and excited. We just got back Tuesday night from state tournament. The 9, 10, 11-year-old girls softball team went to state, and They lost the first, won the second game, and then lost their third game. So they did really well. I think they ended up in sixth place.
Nice.
It's my son's first birthday today, so I'm very happy about that. We made it 1 year.
Nice.
It's just a beautiful day and I'm happy to be here. It's been a while, so.
We're happy you're here, Curtis.
All right.
Thank you.
Just got back from a family reunion in that Bear Lake up in the Idaho, Utah area. Lovely lake, never been there before, but beautiful lake and big, 18 miles long and 5 miles across. We had 47 of our family members there, so it was good time.
Okay, it looks like we have one last one. It better be not naughty.
Last week, the high school basketball players won their last game. And yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Joe Ellen, that's a happy $2 for you.
Yes.
Okay, any more happy bucks, any more business, and okay, let's go to the program. So I'm happy to introduce Rebecca Murray. And I want to read a little bit about her and get you engaged a little bit before she comes up. Would you like to learn skills to manage more engaging and efficient meetings? Raise your hand. Okay. Are you interested in learning how to ensure your guest presenters are set up for success and your audience is ready to receive them? Raise your hand. Okay. Where'd we go? Okay. Then you are in the right place today. Our presenter is a professional speaking coach and multimedia producer. She calls herself an edutainer, which means she infuses entertainment into her training to make it fun and memorable. Through her company, Showcase Your Shine with Rebecca P. Murray, she's hired by corporate clients to work with high potential leaders, helping them speak with confidence. Today, she promises to teach us facilitation from both sides of the lectern. First, we will need to do if we are responsible for the meeting, and secondly, our responsibilities as a presenter. What we'll learn today is a condensed version of a course she offers at Western Washington University as part of her Speak and Shine Academy, the curriculum offerings. And now, here to help us facilitate with finesse, Rebecca P. Murray. Please welcome.
Well, first of all, I want to apologize because I had that you were the best club in the world on my sheet, and it turns out you're the best club in the universe. So, sorry. This is a bonus question, has absolutely nothing to do with the presentation, but it does have to do with Rotary. If you know who brought singing to Rotary, raise your hand. Who brought singing to Rotary? Now, if you came to the annual conference, you would know the answer to this, because as it turns out, it was Harry Ruggles, the 5th Rotarian. The very first song sung at any Rotary meeting was, "Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you." And the story behind that goes, Rotary is a very clean place, right? We don't like off-color humor. They invited a guest to the meeting. You know this story? They invited a guest to the meeting, and this guest, at the end of his speaking, started turning it to this joke that Harry Ruggles had heard before, and he knew how it ended. So before the fellow finished, Harry stood up on a chair and said, "Let's all sing, Rotarians. Let me call you sweetheart." It was a little rude. Harry thought it was a little rude for him to cut off the speaker in that way. He apologized later, but they all learned. And that is the story behind singing at Rotary. Do we have any roasty toasties in the audience today? Any roasty toasties? Now you're thinking, what's a roasty toasty? A roasty toasty is a Rotarian plus Toastmaster. You became a Rotarian first, and I happen to know you have one in this club, and his name is Carl Garrison. Carl is in my Toastmasters Club, Burlington Better Speakers. In our club, what we mainly focus on is how to become better speakers, how to become better leaders, and also how to facilitate meetings, which is what we'll be focusing on today. Now, I've met or spoke with Ruth quite a bit, and I happen to know that you actually are the best club in the universe because of how you prepare your speakers. And I thought it was really cool the way that you, now I've visited lots of Rotary clubs. I think it's very unique and cool how you have the teams each month. If you're on Team August, raise your hand. Team August. So it's your responsibility to find a speaker for each week in August. So we're going to talk today about facilitation from 3 sides of the lectern. The responsibilities of you, if you're on a team, the facilitator of the meeting, responsibilities of the speaker, and we do this all for the benefit of our audience. So let's start with the prep work, the prep that once you find a speaker, and I happen to have all this awesome paperwork here that Ruth shared with me. You have, each team has a list of potential topics, which will get your brains going, like who might be an excellent speaker for our club. Then you reach out to the speaker. You also have a form letter right here. You don't have to mail it. The word letter is used loosely these days, right? Because we do have email. So it says, hello, blank. Our Rotary Club is interested in hearing about blank. Would you be interested in speaking at one of our Thursday meetings? Now, you might just pick up the phone and have a conversation instead, but you do have this as well. I think that's fantastic. Really sets you up for success. In addition to that, you have this sheet right here, which helps someone like me, A, know where you're located, B, how the meeting flows. There are some clubs where the speaker starts right off. They have the guest speaker right from the get-go. Other clubs like yours toward the end of the meeting. So it helps me understand, do I get to eat lunch first? Oh, you're including lunch? You mean I don't have to eat before I come? All of those kinds of things that are going to put your speaker at ease and help mitigate those potentially awkward moments. Now, there are a few things that you might want to also know from your speaker ahead of time. Do they plan to use slides? Will they be showing a video, which is always, have you been in a meeting where you show the video and there's no sound? You know, there's always something up with the video. But you want to know that, and you happen to have this Microsoft expert here, aren't you lucky? Best club in the universe to help with all those things. But knowing that ahead of time, helping them understand to get here early, and then for you to prepare your audience. So let's focus on these 3 things. What is the difference between an introduction, a speaker introduction, and a speaker bio? What's the difference? Anybody? Anybody? Yeah, yes, and what details specifically? A bio, if you had read, Rebecca Murray went to the University of XYZ in the year of beep. She graduated with a 4.0 in agriculture and blah, 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 blah. She has 2 children's books. She works with the Boys and Girls Club, blah, 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 blah. She lives in Mount Vernon and blah, 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 blah. Okay. First of all, that's a bio that doesn't relate to anything that we're going to be talking about. But that is usually, if you ask a speaker for an introduction, they're going to send you a bio. Because most people don't know the difference between a bio and an introduction. A bio is my history. A bio might be like on LinkedIn. You worked here, you did this, you did that. That's a bio. An introduction is not a bio. Now, you might have a little sliver of your work history as it pertains to this audience, to this topic, but you're not going to stuff a whole bunch of things in there about you. And if you read a bio up here, people are going to know a lot of things they didn't know before about the person, relevant and irrelevant information, but there's nothing about the program. So the best way to help your speakers craft an introduction, and believe me, I've crafted hundreds and hundreds of introductions for myself, and I've rewritten hundreds of introductions for speakers because what they give me is a bio. So here's the 3-part test of a good introduction. Did you notice the questions that were asked at the beginning? Can I have that back? Yeah, there we go. You get your audience engaged and help them get ready for what you are about to hear. The 2 questions were, would you like to learn skills to manage more engaging and efficient meetings? Raise your hand. Yeah, I just engaged you. Well, I didn't actually engage. I mean, I did, but we both did. We both did. And then one other question that follows up. So 2 or 3 questions to get your audience thinking like, what am I going to hear next? There's a little bit about me. And then there's a little bit about the program and then a little bit about me. And the last thing you should hear, the very last thing that you should hear come out of the introducer's mouth is the name of the person speaking. If you think about a good game show, how they tee up the game show host, and now get ready for truth or consequences with your host, blah, blah. Is there still a truth or consequences game show? It's the last thing you hear is the name, because what are you getting ready to do when you hear a person's name? Clap. You're going to clap. And I'm going to be so excited because you're clapping for me. Now I'm excited to give my presentation to you. So this is how you tee up your audience, how your speaker feels honored. Everyone loves the sound of their own name. You love your name, right? I learned your name today. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, good speaker too. I see great things coming your way. Okay, so the intro and the bio. If you get a bio, you may still use that to advertise the meeting, but what else do you need to advertise the meeting? You ask for a picture of your speaker? Do you do any advertising for the meeting? Could you? Might you, if you did some advertising for the speaker, might you bring in other potential guests to your club? Yes? No? Yes. The answer is yes. Yes. So you also want a blurb. If you post this, like I went to your website and saw the different meetings, but you could, and this is what a lot of Rotary clubs do, they put it out on Facebook, social media, and they put a little blurb of what the presentation, the title of the presentation, and a little bit about what you get out of the presentation. What the word blurb, it's a weird word, blurb. Where did the word blurb come from? Any printers in the room? Any book reader? Your book reader? Raise your hand. If you read books, on the back of a book, there's a blurb. That's what it's called. It's a summary of what you're going to get inside. So your professional speaker is going to give you 3 things. They're going to give you a crafted introduction, a bio, which you may or may not use, and a blurb if you want your audience to know ahead of time what to expect. Those 3 things, and then also a photo. So the other things that you do so well in this club is when I walked in the room, I loved that I was asked if I had a PowerPoint. Here's how we do it. If you need any help, we're going to jump in and help you get everything set up. That is, you get an A+ for making the speaker feel welcome. And I'll tell you during the pandemic, when I was speaking to a lot of Rotary clubs all over the region, there was one club in particular that made me as a speaker feel so honored And that feeling lingered and lingered and lingered. Still, I think it was the Redmond Club. The person who introduced me also had like a little warm-up thing. Well, I've done some studying on Rebecca Murray, and we're going to basically have a little game show. Where did Rebecca go to college? It's either here, here, or here. And they had this little game show about me to help their audience understand, who I was, a little bit about my background. These are things that I didn't share. He did research. Think how honored you would feel if that was you, that they studied you before you got there and then engaged the audience to help them know you on a more personal level. It was really above and beyond. Okay, so we've talked about introduction, bio, blurb, how you might use those. What do you do? In this information that you share with potential speaker, you let them know how long they get to speak. How long is it? You can just say it out loud. How long? 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, your paperwork says 20, so they're thinking 20. And then how much time for Q&A? 5 minutes. Who's keeping my time, by the way? How am I doing on time? Yeah, but how much time do I have left? I have a lot of time. Okay, according to the paperwork, I have 20 minutes. How long have I been speaking? I'm putting you on the spot here, I know. So here's one suggestion I have for you. Well, and first a question, then a suggestion. The question is, have you ever had a speaker who went overtime? How often does this happen? Not very. Okay, so for that speaker who goes overtime, what do? You stand up and start inching your way toward that speaker. Okay, are you the guy? Are you the incher? Oh, past president. Okay. You are over time. Just a suggestion. So you ask the speaker. See, I brought a phone with me, but I forgot to look at it when I started speaking. So I'm already wondering, am I too long? Am I too short? How much? I'm already thinking like, I don't want to go over. That's the worst thing for me as a speaker. I never want to go over. If I'm under, that's fine. Not significantly under, of course, because then everybody's like, well, what do we do? I guess we'll go home early. So for those speakers, a suggestion would be to have somebody. Is it you who's the timekeeper? Or is it you what do you call that? Like a bouncer in a bar? Is that you? Okay, so here's an idea. This is what we do in Toastmasters. This really helps. You suggest when your guest comes in, you say, we're happy to help keep you on time. We have 3 cards. We're going to hold up a green card just briefly, right over here. When you get halfway through, that's at 10 minutes. We're going to just flash up a yellow card at 15 minutes. And when you need to wrap up, we'll have the red card right over here. Do you need that service from us? And they go, no, I'm just going to use my phone. But you're keeping time anyway, because they could be like me where they forget to look at their phone before they start. Do you like this idea? Okay, good. Gave you something. That's great. Okay, so overtime is a problem, undertime, not that big of a problem. Okay, at the meeting, greeted, yes, like a guest of honor, check. As a speaker, I'm always going to also bring a copy of my introduction with me, because sometimes I send it to somebody and that somebody doesn't send it to somebody else. So if I'm assuming that somebody has my introduction, I might be fooling myself. And so what do we do today? I had a copy of my intro and we talked about that. Now, what do you have in front of you there? I'm just curious.
Our speaker is Rebecca P. Murray today. She will be speaking to us about how to facilitate a meeting with finesse. An element of Rebecca's presentation includes flawless facilitation in 5 easy steps, a skill many of us could use. Rebecca is an edutainer, speaking coach, and multimedia producer. Please welcome Rebecca Murray.
Right. Please welcome Rebecca Murray. So now I didn't write that, correct? You wrote that? Okay, it was a good job. And I see that you threw in the Rebecca Murray at the end. So that was good. So it was my introduction, although I wasn't here. 50% of the time that I speak somewhere, that is the case. So if you're a speaker somewhere else and you've sent all your stuff, print off a copy of your introduction and bring it with you just in case. Because we're not just talking about you here in this Rotary Club. Everything I'm telling you applies outside of the Rotary Club as well, when you are the speaker. And most of the time, again, because people don't know the difference between a bio and an intro, you don't want somebody, now that was a good job, and I have to say that was a very good job, but most of the time, if you leave your introduction in somebody else's hands, you're not going to get something like this. You want to have control over that in those 3 parts, right? You're doing it for your audience. Okay, copy of my intro just in case. Who helps me with my PowerPoint? That was wonderful how I found that out right when I walked in. It's excellent. And then how about the questions? You know, you have the 5 to 10 minutes at the end for questions. And I'll just tell you, as a professional presenter, if you're the one speaking up here, never end with a Q&A. The Q&A comes later in the presentation, but the last thing they should hear from you is the message, why you're speaking. You're going to recap what you said. You're going to leave everybody with a message. It's not the Q&A, because sometimes like, well, do you have any questions? And then no one has any questions. And now I feel like I didn't do a very good job. Okay, I'll just sit down now. So seed, if you want people to ask questions, at least have one person, and this is something that you might, you as the MC in this case, think of one question in advance that you're going to ask to help seed the questions. And the way you would ask it as a professional presenter, you would say, I'm wondering, what questions might you have? Not, do you have any questions? I'm wondering, what questions might you have? See, it's just a different feel to it, right? Do you have any questions? What questions might you have? Just a different feel. I love the handshake, and then we're going to shake hands at the end. Some people may not feel comfortable these days shaking hands, so that might be something that you ask. In our club, we generally do this. Are you comfortable with that? No, I do this. Okay, we can do that. Or maybe I'm not comfortable touching. You know, these weird things that we have to consider these days, right? Because of COVID. So crazy. And then how you're thinking. So if you're the facilitator, then, or MC, let's think of it as an MC. After you thank the person, I know I'm not getting a pen because you're out of pens and you have supply chain issues. That's fine. That is fine. I'll come back and then you can give me 2 pens next time. But generally, that's what you do. Thank you, Rebecca. It was wonderful. You give me the pen, and then you say one other nice thing about me, okay? You thinking one other nice thing you're going to say? You have 2 nice things. Oh, that's even better. All right. So you have all of this right here. I knew how to get here. I knew what time. So these are the things. If you're on the team July, team August, team September, you have all these wonderful things that Ruth has provided you at your fingertips to help prepare your speakers so that your speaker can feel comfortable and give something great to the audience as well. Help prepare the audience. And before I share my final takeaway, I'm wondering, what questions might you have? I know you have some. Okay. Mm-hmm. What do you all think? So today we're a little ahead of schedule because we didn't have so much in the middle of the meeting like you usually do. And then you might also come to the speaker and give them a heads up. I mean, not everybody is as comfortable speaking in front of an audience as I am because I do this professionally. But if somebody's looking at the clock and they're like, okay, 12:45, I'm nervous, 12:45. And you're like, guess what? You're going on 15 minutes early. Oh no. I mean, that can throw somebody off if they're not a professional speaker. So you just might say, come over to them ahead of time and say, listen, we're gonna have a little more time. Do you have more content? You could go with that. And if they say no, I've practiced, I'm good at 20 minutes plus the 5 to 10 Q&A. So would you like me to speak for another 15 minutes? I know the answer. You don't. That's fine. That's totally fine. 20 minutes is a really good time. It's like a TED Talk. It's enough time to get an idea, something new, remember it, use it out there in the world. It's good. It's good. What was your other question? Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. As a speaker. Oh, yeah. Well, yes. Well, at this Rotary convention, I spoke at your Rotary conference in May. And I had a bunch of people come up to me afterwards like, oh, your energy, I love your energy. Because this is a room of 350 people too, right? And this one gal comes up to me and she goes, Rebecca, never let anyone take out your batteries. Never let anyone take out your batteries. In other words, keep that energy. And it's absolutely essential. If I have energy, then I can give it to you. But if I don't have energy and I'm trying to get some from you and you're not getting it from me, then we're both out of luck. So yes, yes, energy. And if you get that sense for somebody when they walk in that they're kind of like low energy, and they may or may not perk up once they get up there, but giving that awesome introduction and getting the audience ready to receive them, energize the audience on their behalf, is a great way to go too. I'm wondering if there might be any other questions today. Hearing none. We go 3, 2, 1. Hearing none, I'll leave you with this. You have the best Rotary Club in the universe, have all of these awesome tools to help speakers like me feel welcome, for you to receive the message that I have for you. Please use these tools that Ruth has provided to you in the months coming up, you awesome A-teams. And with that, it's been my pleasure to address you today.
Rebecca, thank you very much. I will definitely be a better timekeeper and I will facilitate with finesse with a little bit of energy. Thank you. Okay, do we have any other club business? Okay. I would like to thank Sam for coming and visiting with us today. Thank you, Sam. What club are you from again? Lake Stevens. Great. We have friends down Lake Stevens. I know the superintendent down there, Ken Collins. You know Ken? Tell him I said hello. Landon, thank you for showing up and coming and visiting with us today. We really appreciate you coming. And we will see everybody next week on Thursday because we are the greatest Rotary Club in the